Communicating with other human beings is difficult, am I right? What we say isn't always what we mean, and vice versa. There are so many ways for messages to be misinterpreted or miscommunicated, and things get messy quickly, especially in tricky social situations and work environments. Fortunately, we've put together a list of the most effective and tricky psychological moves to make life smoother. Number 21 is a truth-revealing hack. Listening to someone without giving advice or pushing for more information typically gets me far more information than being pushy for it. Number 20. This one is an argument nullifier. In an argument, find something to agree on, then push your main point. 3. This is the comforting technique. If someone is upset or angry, try saying, "That's completely understandable." It gives them a sense of victory and shifts their emotions away from being directed at you because you understand and might be on their side. Number 18, this one is free game for the workplace. One way to avoid workplace drama and be well-liked is to compliment people behind their back. 17, how to avoid getting called on. So if you find yourself in a group situation where someone, like a teacher or manager, is asking questions that must be answered and you want to avoid being picked, then here is my tip. If the person locks eyes on you as they ask the question, break eye contact with them and look towards another person just as they're wrapping up asking their question. Their attention is diverted to that other person just as the question ends, and the person they are now looking at feels compelled to answer. Family, if you're enjoying the content, please do us a favor and smack the dog shit out of that like and subscribe button for us. My friends, it's quick, easy, and helps us out more than you'll ever know. Number 16, check out this apology tip. Don't say it's okay when someone apologizes. Say something like, "Thank you for apologizing." If someone needs to apologize to you, then it was for something that wasn't okay. My mom taught this to her kindergartners, and it really does make a difference. It opens the door for growth and conversation too. "Thank you for apologizing. I don't like it when you blah, blah, blah." 15. The expression of gratitude. Thanking someone for a trait you want from them. Instead of telling a customer, "Sorry for the wait," tell them, "Thank you for your patience or understanding." Number 8 is a clever name-seeking trick. When you need to find out someone's name, specifically at a company, you can ask someone, "Oh, is John still head of development up there?" They go, "No, it's Mark now." Sneaky, yet useful. Number 13 is an easy way to avoid drama. My coworkers can get a little catty sometimes. When they're griping to me about something someone else did, I just shut it down with, "X is just so great with customer service though," or some compliment about the person they're complaining about. Works like a charm and sends the message, "I'm not going to feed into this shit, so go away." Number 12, how to not look like a know-it-all. I recently read that saying, "You're right," instead of "I know," makes you look less like an asshole and doesn't diminish something someone else may have just found out. Number 11, this is a marital tip. If you do something annoying or bothersome to your partner and they go quiet, I wait a few minutes and then I ask them a seemingly innocent question, usually about a friend or relative. This gets them talking about that person. They'll likely ramble for like 5 minutes and then bam, happy again and not quietly brooding. 12. Best way to deter people from spouting bullshit. When someone is giving you a lot of excuses, or generally if they're being an asshole about something, often the best way to handle it is to stare back with mild interest and contribute nothing to their monologue. If you don't give them anything to work with, they'll talk themselves into a corner and lose confidence in what they're saying. Number 9 is some clever argument advice. In an argument, instead of arguing right off the bat, start off by agreeing with them and then state your point of view after addressing the other person's point. This usually always ends in a positive interaction. The idea is to show respect for what the other person thinks, rather than shutting the person down. 8. This is vital advice on how to calm down a tense situation. If you need to de-escalate someone and get them to communicate, try asking questions. About numbers, personal information. If someone is totally distraught and shut down, asking their phone number, address, birth date, and so forth can pull them out of the emotional place and bring them back to a headspace where they can talk about what happened more easily. I often ask these questions, even after I have the information, just to de-escalate. Number 7 is a nifty little question trick. If there's a particularly hard question to answer, always start with, "What a great question," etc., etc. Generally speaking, the asker is so pleased that their question got praised by the speaker in front of all those people that they are less critical of and pay less attention to the actual answer. 6. How to avoid repeating yourself. When you ask someone a question and their first response is, "What?" just stare at them for a few seconds, and 99% of the time, they'll answer the question without you having to repeat yourself. I think it's just a reflex. People have to ask, "What?" instead of answering what you've asked even when they've heard you clearly. 5. This hack is for being more direct. Be direct and personal when you need things. Instead of asking if anyone has an EpiPen, ask who has an EpiPen. Instead of asking someone to call 911, point to a specific person and say, "You in the blue jacket, what's your name?" "Tom?" "Okay, Tom, go call 911 and come tell me when they are on the way." Number 4 is a helpful tip for working with kids. Whatever you do, don't tell kids not to do something. If I told you, "Don't think about unicorns," you'll immediately think about unicorns. Don't tell a kid not to something. Rather, tell them to do something else. That way, you don't put the idea of what you don't want them to do into their minds, but rather what you do want them to do, which in their childish manner fuels the fire to do it more. 3, and this one. When my youngest child got into the why phase years ago, I found the best way to get her to stop was to ask her, "I'm not sure, what do you think?" It's a godsend. She answered her own question while I only provided some feedback. "Sounds good to me," and she immediately moved on. Fucking brilliant. 2. This is a clever method for stimulating conversation. Instead of asking, "Do you have any questions?" I ask, "What questions do you have?" The first almost always results in silence, and the second lets people feel comfortable to ask questions. Number 1 is an important way to make people feel needed. It is often hard to get employees to do what is needed. I have found saying, "I need your help" is sufficient to get them on board. People want to feel needed and like they are making a difference. Expressing to them as much makes all the difference in the world. We'd love to hear what you think down in the comments. As always, my friends, we thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.